Beautiful soul, have you ever wanted to speak to angels? Do you believe angels can support you in your daily life? If this is you, go to my website homepage, theangelmedium.com, and sign up for my weekly angel message email. As a gift for signing up, I'm giving you access to free resources, including 31 healing meditations that, if you do daily, are going to help you hear your angels and your own intuition more clearly. Start using these today and you'll see changes in 31 days. Now, take a deep breath. Feel the presence of your angels as they fill you with love, joy, peace, bliss, and ease. And remember, your angels say the messages that resonate with you in today's episode are meant just for you. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Angels and Awakening podcast. I'm your host and author, Julie Jancius. And today we have Alison with us. And she sent me an email with a very specific story that I have seen come through just in different narratives time and time again. And Spirit and the Angel said this is a conversation that we really have to have on this podcast so that other people can be aware of just what's happening out there and how to protect themselves more so. So Alison, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Julie.
Every time I tune into your energy, because I've worked with you also, there's just so much like love that's radiating.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I know that this episode today just really comes from a place of love. So I'm going to have you start out by just sharing your story.
Okay, there's a little backstory to it in that 2020, my mom was really sick. I pretty sure I had COVID. I was very sick and I was having all the symptoms, the brain fog. And I had a lot of health issues happening at the same time. And so then, let's see, then my mom passed away and I was still suffering with health problems. I had an issue with a really, really good friend of mine, which I did not expect from him. And so I started to reach out to my community of healers. And I think because I've been doing this for so long, like searching for so long, I have always been looking for the guru or, the teacher. And I reached out to that teacher who I completely respect. And in that conversation, I think the hardest part to hear was I had something inside of me, put inside of me that he couldn't help me with. I had this energy that I gave him that he couldn't clear himself out of, and that he could no longer help me. And I was to separate myself from my spiritual sisters because I could potentially it was like I had a disease and give it to them, And so I really stepped back away from them and they reached out to me. They knew too. They were told to stay away from me too. And they were trying to reach out to me. And of course, I felt like I didn't want to give them what I have. So, so I pretty much separated myself. Now, I've been through a lot, but feeling like my spiritual self was taken away was one of the hardest things I've ever had happen to me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't turn to anybody because I felt like I had something wrong with me. So the message I wanted to share with you when I emailed you was just because the word is so important, what people tell you. I think the best part of what happened was I learned that I didn't have any of that.
Yes.
And that I am of pure love. And that's all that really matters is that I'm connected to pure love. And this is a fear thing that starts to happen in me and in other people. And, I created this whole consciousness prior to what happened.
Mhm.
And now the consciousness now is just love. And that's partially why I love going to your class, because, you say that and I'm like, this is what I've learned. It's true. But not too many teachers, spiritual teachers, talk about this, you know?
So let's go back and let's kind of break this down. And then I also want to get into the story of how you kind of made that turn of that corner, because this is really heavy and this is very traumatic for a lot of people, rightfully so, as they go through it. And I've heard it in so many different ways, a couple of ways that we've talked about on the podcast, a couple that we haven't. But there are certain healers who I want to say give power to negativity, because where you put your attention, where you put your energy, energy flows. And so if you allow yourself to be of the philosophy that there is negativity, that there are negative energies within this world that can harm you or that can block you permanently or for a long time within your physical body. Just having that belief itself is the biggest blockage to your growth, to your evolution, to your soul's journey here in this lifetime. And there are many healers out there who will tell people things like you heard, or different things like, oh, you have a blockage in your heart chakra, and that's why you're not manifesting, and that's why you're not bringing in abundance, and that's why things aren't happening for you. But for $5,000, I can clear that energy for you.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah.
Run as fast as you can away from that person. Do not give that person any money. Go in the opposite direction as fast as you can. And I want to just reiterate what you said, because here you are in your story at a point in your life where you are devastated. You are going through grief, the loss of your mother. And you go to this healer, and this healer says, you have a blockage. You have something very ugly and dark within you.
Mm-hmm.
And this man, and this is nothing like we talk about on this podcast. So if there's first time listeners here, we're telling you what not, or like how to avoid this and protect yourself. So you're talking to this spiritual healer, and this person is telling you, you have this within your body. They cannot clear it from you. They don't even want to be around you because they don't want to absorb this negative energy. And nor should you be around your friends because you don't want to give this negative energy to them. And so in doing this and saying this, this person isolates you from yourself, from your spirituality, from the teacher that you looked up to, from the friends who have always been supportive and caring for you, and puts you into a box all by yourself to handle this alone. And I want to break down what happened here so that other people understand. When you go to a teacher who brings through negative information, or a person, a teacher who is of the philosophy that negativities can hurt you and block you so much in this lifetime, then you're really denying the flip side to that coin, which is the complete opposite alternative view. My view is that that's not the case whatsoever. My view is that God, universe, source is not a man sitting in the sky, nor is it a woman sitting in the sky, that God, universe, source is everything, everywhere, all at once. It is the air in front of you, the cells within your being, this microphone in front of me, this laptop. Every single person here on earth is God, universe, source. And I believe that what God, universe, source is at its core is just love, joy, peace, bliss, ease, and grace. And that God doesn't create anything negative. And really, this place is, in a way, because there's no time on the other side, and because all of the lifetimes that we will ever live are truly happening simultaneously, which is a very, very big thought to wrap our minds around. There isn't a way. God didn't send us here to go through so much hardship. God stacked the deck in our favor. If you pray one time, and this is my belief, if you pray one time, God, universe, source, protect me, guide me, direct me my entire life, you know what's going to happen before I do. You've got this. I believe you are protected your entire life. I don't believe that there is anything that comes into a person that can't be cleared. There are, yes, emotions that come into us. We go through happy times. We go through sad times. If we're not working on ourselves and we're just zipping through life very, very quickly, and we're not paying attention to our own emotions and feelings, they can compound within us. We have to peel back those layers by doing our self-work. That's just normal. That's not negative energy within us. That's not us being bad. That is us being human. And every single person is going to be doing that work on themselves. Listen, as long as you're still here, you have work to be doing in this day and age on yourself. That is everybody everywhere. And so what happens is when people allow themselves to believe a thought, and it could be any thought, right? I made this one mistake when I was in 8th grade, so I'm bad. And if you think to yourself, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, for the rest of your life, you're never allowing yourself to escape that. You're anchoring in, rooting into that thought. If you think to yourself, this one person made this comment about me one time, and so they don't like me. And then you root in and you ruminate on that thought. You're anchoring in and rooting into that thought and making it bigger. And if you allow yourself to think, wow, there's negativities that can come into me that I can't clear myself, that could harm me, then you're allowing yourself to root into that and to allow that to grow, that thought to grow within you. But that's truly all it is a thought. There is nothing that can physically attach to us here, that can hurt us here, that it's all God, universe, source energy. And so all we really have to do is say once, God, protect us, and we're protected. Friends, what if there was nothing stopping you from becoming abundant to the max in all things? Finances, time, nothing was holding you back from becoming your healthiest, happiest, most financially abundant self yet. Friends, thanks to our annual and monthly angel members, we've been able to grant over $100,000 in partial scholarships so that souls who want access to life-changing teachings in the angel membership have that opportunity. And we have more partial scholarships to give. Don't let your egoic mind tell you that you're not worthy, because the angels and I are here telling you, you are worthy. This is your year. But I can't help you get where you're going if I'm not working with you in one of my programs. Become an angel member now. Go to theangelmedium.com, then the angel membership tab to sign up. If you need a scholarship, let us help you. Scroll to the bottom of the Angel membership page and click the link for partial scholarship options. Links are in the show notes. And thank you. Thank you for coming together as a community. Thank you for contributing what you can each month. And thank you for helping us reach hundreds of deserving souls with life-changing teachings in the Angel membership this year. This is going to be your best year yet. And if we get scared again, we just ask God to remove that from us, and instantaneously it is removed. If somebody says to you, oh wow, you have a huge blockage in your heart chakra, I would be putting my hands over my heart and I'd say, God, whatever's not serving me in my heart chakra, please take it and release it. And I know that instantaneously that work is done, and I'm going to keep working on myself. But there is nothing here that can harm us. And so what happened was your healer was in their own egoic mind space and of a certain philosophy that was actually hurtful to the students. And I'm just so proud of you, Alison, for having the courage and the strength to work through that, because that would be severely overwhelming to a lot of people to be ostracized and abandoned and left alone with huge feelings of grief at that point in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you come through? Yeah.
So imagine someone telling you like you're ugly. I mean, that's pretty hard, right? But then when someone tells you like your spirit is ugly, that's even worse, right? So I spent so much time in the yard and I listened to nature. I cried in this yard so much. And I just found a lot of answers through weeding and through cutting things and listening. And I was like, what? Oh, yeah, this is not true, but it did take me a long time. But it was truly listening. There was a point in the beginning where I just felt like, wow, this long journey of spirituality, I think I don't want to do it anymore at all. And just be like incoherent and just go through life,
Mm-hmm.
But I just kept working through it, and I really feel like nature helped me a lot, a lot. And I meditated even more. I journaled even more, and then the answers were just coming to me. And I felt like I just gained actually more clarity than ever.
Mm-hmm.
And what actually ended up happening maybe 3/4 of the way through was a girl called me that was in connection with the same person, but even more connected to him. And I had been thinking about her a lot because I had heard that she had something in her too, And so,
Wow.
yeah, and she cried so much. I just felt so bad. And I saw how damaged she got from these words that were told to her, like this reality that wasn't real.
Yeah.
And she had a really hard time recovering from that. And that's why I had to tell you, because I felt like people needed to know that that's never true.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of falsehoods within the spiritual community.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't find out until just last year, but that there are even healers who are trying to do this to other healers. And it's the most toxic, icky, yucky energy
Mm-hmm.
that is hard to clear, because when somebody says something false about you, the first thing that you want to do is just go shout from the rooftops, wait, this person is lying. They're not telling like the full truth. They're not telling the full story. But it's come to my attention that there are podcasts out there where if you go on, they pretty much have people on and then talk about them negatively afterwards. And so we really, as just human souls here in these physical bodies, have to have a lot of discernment, just have to really feel into what we're tuning into. We have to ask a lot of questions and not believe everything that we hear the first time. And that's what Spirit always says in my sessions. They're like, Julie, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just have to teach them how to tune into their own intuition, their own alignment, their own flow, and reconnect to themselves. And I think that that's what every great healer does, every great spiritual teacher, is that instead of you looking at somebody and being like, oh, this is a guru that I need to stick with for forever because I'm getting whatever I need from that person. No, you want to be with the teacher who's teaching you how to wean off from needing them, right? And doing that by tuning into your own inner wisdom, your own inner GPS.
That is definitely the lesson that I learned pretty much the hard way, but I'm so glad that I learned it, because now I just know that that's not true, and that what is true to me is that I am coming from love only, and I'm connected to love, and this is my reality. This is my consciousness. I have like a young girl, she's like 18 now, ask me questions, and she's like, Auntie, do you think that this and this? And I tell her, what do you think? What is your thought? How do you feel? And I said, that's the most important thing. I said, you actually know these answers yourself. You have the answers.
Yeah.
And I believe that that's true, that we can learn about things, but really when you go deep into yourself, you actually know those answers true to yourself. And that's your consciousness, that's your love that you connect to, right? So
100%.
yeah.
So from the time when you were told this by this teacher to the time where you feel like you maybe came full circle and healed from it, how long was that for you?
That was a year.
A full year.
Yeah, it took a full year. And I'm really happy to say that the other girl is in such a great place too, and we're supporting each other. And I just had another girl come to me, and one of my spiritual sisters, and said, you know what? You weren't. There was nothing with you.
Yeah.
And so the truth and the clarity is starting to come forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a year is a long time to try to heal from your spiritual damage, your grief. And yeah, I wish it wasn't so long, but I wouldn't change it, because I learned so much,
Mm-hmm.
and it allowed me to share with other people, and support other people.
How did you learn to trust again? Because I think for many people that could take away their trust in learning with another person, but you ended up coming through the Angel Reiki school, and I've gotten to work with you, and your energy is just pure love. Like every single time I see you and you're on video and in our meetings, it's just you radiate this love. How did you learn to trust again?
I actually think that my core spiritual self was strong enough to know and come back. And I do believe, again, that nature for me is my thing. That's what I connect to. And it's telling me all the time, just in like weeding, like I'll take out a big root of a vine that's been like choking out my trees, and I get so happy. I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like, you got to get to the root of the problem. So I think nature speaks to me often. And so I think it's the strength in your core, in where you're from,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry it keeps going in and out. It must be like
No,
cloud
the
going
light.
in.
No, it's
Yeah.
so pretty. If anybody's watching on YouTube, and she's got these just beautiful mountains behind you. It almost looks like the cathedrals in Hawaii. Like,
Yeah, it is very beautiful. And that's why I spend so much time out there. But even if it wasn't like that, I would still spend time out there. But I
yeah,
think I learn a lot. And I think that trusting is listening to yourself.
yeah,
It's really going inward to that core of who you are and listening to yourself. So if I kept searching outside of myself, I would have taken a lot longer than that. And it really was for me. It wasn't against me. All of that was for me. I learned so much, and I am much more stronger for it, stronger in my spiritual self for it. I don't think I could get knocked down like that again.
yeah. And this is something like a message that's coming through to all healers that are listening right now. The process of spirit taking you from where you are to where you want to be as a healer is a process of you going through different challenges at different times in your life in order for spirit to grow you, pull you, mold you, sculpt you into exactly what they need you to be for the souls that you're here to serve here on earth. And a lot of people, I say this to the Angel Reiki School students all the time. If you think about it like this, like all healers are on a starting line, like lined up shoulder to shoulder right next to one another. And let's say there's millions of us around the world, right? And in every single one of our life plans, we are here to help, serve, learn, grow ourselves in order to help the select souls that we're here to help in this lifetime. There is no competition because that's how it works. So we all start out on this line, and we all have our own inner fears and insecurities and things that we're working on personally to grow. So as we start moving forward as healers, there are things that are going to come up. And as you face them one by one, it makes you stronger. It makes you, when the next situation comes around, you understand it from a different perspective. And maybe this time it doesn't affect you for a year, maybe it affects you for a week. And then you go through another experience and spirit shows you something. And that time it only affects you for a day. And then the next time it only impacts your energy for a couple of hours. And this is how spirit molds us and sculpts us. But what happens to a lot of healers as they're starting out is their mindset doesn't work that way, and they don't see it from that perspective. Instead, they're telling themselves within their own minds, well, this went wrong. And because this went wrong, something's wrong with me. And then they stop on their spiritual journey as a healer. And that is one of the saddest things, or the things that makes me so sad within my heart and my being, because it's not you. And this is for everybody listening, no matter what your goal is anywhere. Spirit is you're on your starting line, right? Like you're moving forward, and something is going to come up that challenges you. And there's one of two ways to look at it. I'm bad, I'm wrong, I shouldn't be doing this. This is a sign that I'm not on the right path. Or I'm going to let this grow me, sculpt me, and heal me to an even greater level, peel back that onion layer, show me more about myself. And with that, I'm going to be stronger and I'm just going to keep going. And if you keep going in life, there is no mountain that you can't climb. There is no ocean you can't swim over. That is where God, universe, source will work miracles for you, because what you've shown in the crowd of everyone is that you're the one person that God, universe, source can trust to keep going and keep doing God's work. And it's hard. It is hard sometimes. But when you keep going, God keeps handing you more work to keep working on here on earth, because you've shown and you've raised your hand with your free will and you've said, I've got this. You can throw those challenges my way. I'm just going to keep going, keep growing.
I think to expand on that, it can come in a trickle or it can come one time, right?
Ooh.
And that was like, there was so many other things that was happening at the same time. I can't even expand, and some of it is a little too personal, but there is so many things I was like, this is a lot. Like, it really was all at one time. But, when you talk about trust, I mean, I think it's that trust of yourself. And that trust of yourself is actually true love, right? You're in love. Not you're in love with somebody, you're in love. So that's your trust of yourself. When you're trusting other people to tell you what you are, then, things get lost. Yeah.
You're not in love with yourself. You're within the vibration of love. Your
Yes.
being is within the vibration of love, radiating that love.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. I love how you healed yourself by being in nature and just connecting and grounding and rooting, as spirit has been taking me on this journey of healing myself with my voice and chest pain and these different things. And we're coming into this year of ease in 2023. They've been having me out much more in nature and doing much more in nature, which I have poo-pooed very much so on this podcast. I'm like, I don't get it going out for a walk, I get it now. And I'm in slowing down and just being with the vibrations of the earth, being with the vibrations of nature, connecting with the trees, connecting with the energies. I even read recently where when you're out taking a walk in the woods or like prairie path, or even when you're walking on a beach and just seeing the water right there, it recalibrates your entire energetic vibration within your body back to like your set point of your soul, right? Your set point within you. And you can feel it so incredibly much.
For sure. I raise butterflies outside too.
Do you?
I do. And so, I mean, just that process, like you go into a different space. It's almost meditative, right? Because now you're so focused on this, like, oh, I have to save him from the birds or save him from, the lizards. And then you see it like flying around and they remember you. They're flying around like all day. They're just flying around and they'll just come up and just fly around like you're nothing. But it's those little things that just like it's proof that you are loved. Why would that even happen? All these things that you can see and appreciate and feel. Just seeing a seed like become like a seedling. It's to me, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And there's teaching in all of it. There's definitely teaching in all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
amazing. Amazing, amazing. Allison,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for being here with us today. Thank you for sharing your story so that other people can learn from you and not have to go through. I think there's a lot of people who can learn from your story who can have a different experience as they're walking through their
Yes.
spiritual journey.
Yes. I mean, I feel just like don't let anybody ever take your spirituality away. Yeah, with words, you know. Yeah. But thank you so much, Julie. And I do definitely love my Angel Reiki class. I didn't take it for a specific reason. I just felt it and took it, and it just resonates with me. So thank you so much.
Of course, of course. All my love to you.
Thank you, Julie.
You too, you too. To everybody listening, I hope you just take a deep breath in here, deep breath out here. And I just want you to ask God, Universe, Source, please wrap me in a bubble of your protection, your love, your grace, your support, your wisdom. And God, Universe, Source, always show me the right way that it is that you want me to go. Allow me to feel it within my own intuition, within my own vibration, so that I know, like I know, like I know, that it's you, God, pointing me in the direction you want me to go. And so it is. Thank you all for saying that and praying that little prayer. I hope you feel that protection, that peace and support around you always. Love you. Have a blessed day, everybody. Beautiful soul, thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Julie. You know I'm all about connecting you with messages from your angels and loved ones on the other side. If you've been listening today and you're super excited and just have to know which angels are around you right now, who's connecting with you, and what messages they have for you, go to theangelmedium.com. Register for a session. You can do a reading with me or a member of my team, and we can help you in making sure that your angels are doing the very best they can to support you and guide you to your best life. If this sounds like you, virtual sessions, they're only offered on my website. Sign up today. And if you're the person who's really excited, you can sign up for my Angel Reiki School to become a certified angel messenger. That's for the healers among us who feel called to grow their intuition to the max and serve humanity with their gifts. You'll learn Reiki, mediumship, how to deliver angel messages, and how to get clients. That's the Angel Reiki School at theangelmedium.com or DM me on Instagram at Angel Podcast with any questions. Before you go, connect with your angels by placing your hands on your heart. Take a deep breath. Imagine a doorway filled with God's unconditional love is right in front of you. Step into that love and feel it as it fills your body, chakras, and auric field. Now ask your angels, what would you have me know today? And open yourself to the positive, loving messages they have just for you.